Hi, I'm Alison. Welcome to Dream Chasers Adventures in Happiness, where my band of superhero guests and I share with you tales of daring do, life-changing journeys towards living our best lives. If you're after an injection of inspiration and ideas to live the life that you want and deserve, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
Hey, welcome to the show. Today, I'm joined by my amazing friend, Chidwick. Now, Jo has created a brand new life and business for herself where she lives between France and the UK, and she runs Soulful holistic retreat experiences, which help her clients and her mentally, physically and spiritually. Now, this move into the wellbeing space is a whopping great change from Jo's roots, which saw her spend about 30 odd years living in London and working in the corporate world as a marketing director for global IT companies. So there's quite a polarity here in terms of old and new work and lifestyle. So today we're going to get into what inspired Jo to make this huge change, how she decided what to create and offer on the retreat front, so what does that look like? We're going to get into the lessons that she's learned from this whole journey of change, and we're going to talk about what she's planning on doing next. So let's get into it. Welcome to the show, Jo.
Hey, Ali, so good to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for joining. So can we start with what drove your need for change following a long corporate chapter? And can you give us a bit of a picture on what you've described to me as your wake-up moments?
No, absolutely. But it got to the stage where I was going further and further away from things that really inspired me to be a marketeer in the first place, having been in sales as well. So I wasn't working on the projects. I wasn't getting my hands dirty. I wasn't meeting up with clients anymore. I was literally editing presentations, meetings all the time, and not really starting and finishing an exciting project. And it almost came like Groundhog Day. Even the new campaigns that were coming out, I'd probably done them a few times already, just with a bit of a tweak. And I just got to the point where I had this voice inside my head saying, oh, is this it? Is this what I'm going to carry on doing for the next 20, 30 years? And I just sensed that I was not really happy. It was all politics and corporate, and even if I went traveling, it was never really enjoyable. It was always in, out, never really enjoying it. And travel is something I absolutely love. So I felt like I was on autopilot. There was no banter, no fun. It was all incredibly serious. And quite frankly, I wasn't looking after myself either. I was just all over the place with my diet, with everything in my life. I had no proper routine, and I was just tired, like really tired all the time. So
a really familiar story, isn't it? I mean,
exactly.
I think a lot of people, I was the same when I started in my old career. You start off and you love the job, and you it's quite exciting, the climb, as you kind of keep going. I remember describing it to somebody as I love the climb and I freaking hated the view when I got to the kind of senior management layers, because that's all it was. Lots of politicking, lots of paperwork, lots of enacting decisions I didn't agree with. And I wasn't doing much of the actual job. And so, and like you said, on top of that, you travel. Sounds exotic, kind of really isn't. You're often in and out. You're in and out of a hotel room and a board meeting, and then you're back on a plane. And so you just don't. It's just not really living.
No.
So that kind of, so as the career went on, and in the latter stages, you were just feeling a bit about it all, and you weren't looking after yourself. So to boot, not taking care.
Exactly, and therefore I wasn't functioning as well as I should do in the job. I saw people around me, breaking down, and it's a different world to where we were back in the day, and I just feel that I wanted something more. I wanted something more that would actually nurture me, look after me, something I could wake up in the morning and say, hey, what's on the agenda today? That had been, those moments were very short. So, that's what I wanted to dream about, and that's what I wanted to move to.
Okay. So I'm right in thinking, am I right in thinking that you then, during this kind of period, you attended a retreat yourself?
Yes, I did.
And was that the kind of spark that made you think about something that, like the type of thing you're doing now that we'll get into? But what was that experience like?
Well, it was a combination of things. I went to a retreat and I found myself saying, "Oh, I wish they'd done this," or, "Oh, there's too many people here," or, "Why don't they let us have a bit more free time?" Or, so I found myself, although I really enjoyed it, I found
Yeah.
it quite regimented, and I felt that I wasn't getting as much rest as I should do. I wanted it to be more about me.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started thinking about how I could create something like this. But I
Mm.
was more about, destinations and, what I mean? I hadn't actually thought, will I be running retreats? Obviously,
No.
I'm not a practitioner. I don't have those mad skills.
Mm.
So I was thinking more on the marketing side. But then I kind of started, I didn't jump into it, of course not, because I wasn't really quite sure. I think when you come out of the corporate world, there's a period where you have this transition.
Right.
And just as a tip for those people who are doing that, don't panic. Don't panic, right? It takes a while for you to come out of that sort of
Yeah.
feeling of I need to achieve, I need to achieve. It's like, do you remember when you're working full on, going around the world, blah, blah, blah? You'd go on a holiday and you could not relax for at least 3 days.
Yeah. Oh my God, I remember that. It was always three. Yeah, 3 days. I was like a zombie. But
I
actually, it
know.
was just kind of like what a wired zombie. Yeah,
Exactly.
three or
And
four
and that's
days,
what
and
it
then
was. Yeah,
finally you come
that's
into
kind
yourself.
of what it's like when you move out of that massive fast-paced dun 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 dun
Mm.
sort of situation. And so I started going to France, like picking a different place every year and going and staying there for a month. And I just started really kind of embracing the lifestyle,
Okay.
and the culture over there. And I did that for over 4 years. And I really got to appreciate it. I mean, at one point, I was thinking that I was going to, offer a marketing service to expats who rented out their places,
Mm.
their beautiful gîtes and chateaus and all sorts of stuff. But then I thought, well, no, that sounds like too much like hard work and not much fun.
Mm.
So that's when so these ideas were kind of formulating in my head.
So this is interesting. So you didn't, I think, do what I think most people assume is like you switch off a career and you switch on another one. You go, right, I'm done with that. Now I'm straight into this thing. You actually gifted yourself some time. And
Yes.
you're obviously in a position to be able to do that, but you gifted yourself some time to just come back into yourself a little and start to play around with ideas without pressurizing yourself to be like all on immediately.
Yeah, I think it's really important because, this is the one life that we're given, right?
Mm.
And I kind of had a whole list of things I didn't want to do. That was easy. That was a simple bit. It was what I really wanted to do.
Mm.
And so it did take time, but also, it's about the time, the moment. A lot of things came together to get me to start doing it.
Mm.
And I'd already sort of understood that I have transferable skills, as a
Yeah.
marketeer, and I did a lot of training while I was taking my time. I was
Mm.
doing quite a bit of digital, loads of social, because, I wanted to really start utilizing all the tools that are coming out.
Yeah.
Obviously, embracing AI and understanding how we can make our lives easier,
Mm.
for making my life easier,
Like that,
obviously.
yeah.
And then all of these things came together, and a friend of mine, a beautiful friend who moved down to Wellington in Somerset,
Okay.
she had built this beautiful, amazing. It's called 𝗧𝗛𝗛𝗦 barn, and it sleeps 12 plus. Every room is different and unique and has an ensuite. It's got an indoor swimming pool. It's got a jacuzzi. It's all set in the beautiful Somerset countryside.
Mm.
And she was really struggling to rent it out because, it's such a big place. You don't
Yeah.
just book that on a whim. It's not an
No.
Airbnb purchase. So I said to her, why don't I help out with your marketing?
Okay.
And so I started doing some marketing, but as I said, it's a slow burn because obviously it's not somewhere you book, you're booking
Yeah.
like for 12 people. It's usually a birthday or a significant party.
Mm.
So I then thought, well, hang on a moment, why don't I start a retreat? That way I'm bringing in, 6 to 10 people, 8 to 10 people, no more than that, because I
Yeah.
wanted it very exclusive.
Mm.
But also those 6 to 10 people are going to go away with this amazing, understanding of what 𝗓𝗛𝗜𝗦𝗡𝗟 has to offer. So it's a win-win. And actually,
Okay.
off the back of my retreats, there have been bookings for 𝗓𝗛𝗜𝗦𝗡𝗟. So, for me, I felt it was a win-win. And also, my friend isn't a marketeer, so I was literally building that kind of relationship marketing plan that she hadn't had in place because she
Yeah.
was a mathematician before she started this business.
So
So
you
that's basically how it started.
Amazing. So you were using at the time your transferable skills to help out a friend, and then through that, kind of the pieces of the puzzle came together. You're like, "What? Hold on a minute. I could be renting this out." And I've had this kernel of an idea about retreats, and so I might create something. So how did you determine what these retreats were going to look like? Like, what did you want to create?
I wanted somewhere where people, like me, can just step out of the world that they've been living in
Yeah.
and really switch off, where they can meet like-minded people from literally from all walks of life. It's such an eclectic blend of people that you get at these retreats. I love it. And to see the bond that happens between people, it's so nice. And it's not pushed, it's not rushed, it's just a natural thing.
Hmm.
And there's not very many rules at the retreat. Obviously, there's no alcohol and there's no, well, they can have alcohol in their room if they want, but I don't like it to be on the retreat because we're going away to clear our mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, no smoking or vaping.
Hmm.
But the rule I have is that we all come together at meal times. We have an amazing chef, a wonderful woman who, again, came back into my life while I was during this transitional period. Her name is 𝗓𝗛𝗜𝗦𝗡𝗟, and she's her Instagram is at Source of Love, source as in source, yeah.
Yeah.
And she really does bring that to the retreat. And so meal times are a celebration, just, feasting your eyes on the food. And it's not all about counting calories. It's about really enjoying amazing food that you wouldn't cook at home. We try and bring in, Sarah brings a wonderful person with her anyway. She's just one of those auras that you want to spend more time with.
Oh.
So she's great. And she'll give tips and tricks. We'll do workshops and she'll share experiences and recipes. You take them all away with you. So that is a really key part. And then finding different things to do that really just take you into a different world, but under no pressure. Like we always go on a hike. Down in Wellington is the Wellington Monument, very famous.
Okay.
And there's nothing better than to take everyone up there. You go at your pace, we're not hugging trees or blessing crystals, or it's not that kind of retreat. It's just about embracing something that allows you to look at yourself in a different way, and come out of that weekend thinking, you know what? I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna change this. I'm worth it.
Yeah.
That sounds like a commercial, but it's because I'm worth it. But that's what I want people to come away from, and I want them to make a friend, and just reach out, be in an environment, an environment of trust where it's a safe environment just to be yourself.
And you bring in like different people, don't you? Like I'm right in thinking, like you've got different practitioners that come in and do different types of stuff. Whether that's on the mindfulness side or maybe the creativity side, or kind of. I know you're always changing these things up and mixing it up with the people that you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like to have kind of themes for the retreats. So the retreat coming up is called the Wild Winter.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to do, it's optional. Everything is optional. We're going to do yoga and Pilates, and we're obviously going to do the Wellington hike. We're going to have a floating sound bath
Ooh.
in the pool, which is unbelievable. You're floating with this beautiful music and the sound of the, oh my God, it's heavenly. And you're just lying there and it's so warm and so, oh, seriously, you've got to do that once in your life,
Okay.
ladies. Gentlemen, it's amazing. And there's a wonderful lady called Emma Victoria who helps us. I've got this beautiful soul called 𝗓𝗛𝗧𝗦𝗛𝗘. She is amazing. And she does the Pilates. She does like workshops with us on breathing, meditation. She really brings a load of things to our retreats. It's amazing. But we're doing the wild water swimming this
Oh,
time.
oh, brave.
Now, again, it is optional, but there's an amazing spot in Taunton, just literally round the corner from the
Mm.
retreat. And we're just going to throw ourselves in there and just enjoy it, brace ourselves. We're probably only going to be in there for a couple of minutes, but why not? So that's what I love about and bringing stuff in. And you know what? I love we had a wonderful lady on our retreat who does kinesiology, and she is going to come back and as a practitioner and do kinesiology. We had a wonderful lady who did reflexology. And I actually had a really, really bad cold from that retreat. She completely cleaned out my system. And I
Amazing.
was, so I'm a massive fan now. I've looked at loads of different things,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where my ideas come. But the one thing that I'm really excited about, Alison,
Oh,
is
go
that
on.
after being in France all that time,
Mm.
I bought a house over there.
Right. Okay.
And
Bought a
I'm
house in
going to
France.
run retreats in France. I've already done one actually, but I'm going to be starting doing more next year.
Oh my God, I love this. I love this. So you get retreats in Somerset and France. Who are who's coming? Who's the target audience for this kind of thing?
Well, the thing is, I've actually had, I mean, there's no like set person.
No.
It's you know, there's no real criteria. It's just age. I suppose the people that come on there, I have had people in their 20s, but most of the people, I'll be honest, are probably in their 30s and 40s,
Yeah.
some of them in their 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
I allowed animals to come. I don't know if you've seen on my website, on the Instagram and Facebook, you'll see that we had a wonderful retreat with JC, another yoga teacher who was amazing. And we brought the dogs in, and it was really amazing. When they were there with us in the yoga, one of the dogs, who was quite flighty, he just literally slept on his owner's leg while she was doing the yoga. It was
Oh,
so sweet. So, I invite dogs in. We're on a farm, so that, we always have a trip to the farm next door, and we see the horses and the ducks and the geese and the
oh,
chickens, and they grow all of their food. My friend's husband is an amazing chef himself, but he's also a great gardener, and he makes all the food. He grows it all on his farm. So, we are blessed we always have fresh eggs and everything.
yeah.
And, I think, as back to your question of who comes, it's a moment in time.
Yeah.
And
Who needs it?
I love it for people to come. I've had writers, corporate workers. It's just, I would open it up to anybody
Anyone?
who wants to come away and just experience something just for themselves,
Yeah.
whatever that may be.
And it sounds like you offer an awful lot of fascinating, fun, interesting like modalities that help people reflect, help them connect, and kind of just like you said, get back to themselves
Yeah,
for a period of time. So
yeah.
all of this, you can tell from your energy that you just absolutely love this. That this is just you have landed on your thing. Like for anyone thinking that they want to make a big kind of change themselves, like you've done, I mean, whether that's into well-being or anything else, like what can you share about what you've learned from this journey of change from corporate into something that lights you up?
Yeah, I mean, look, use your intuition. I would honestly say that, that's one of the senses that we've been given, and a lot of people don't use it. but my gut feel, I call it my spidey sense,
Oh yeah.
is often something that when I was running around so fast, I didn't really listen to. But again, once you become free of that, you listen to your intuition. I think it really is a strong part of who we are.
Yeah.
And if it feels right, it generally is right.
Yeah.
So I would say use your intuition. Build a support network. That's the other thing. There's people that I brought into my support net because I thought they were the right people, but actually they turned out not to be the right people. So that's going to happen as well.
Yeah.
But I want, these people have gone on to do what's right for them as well. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
That's just how life is. But I feel now that I've got the people around me who really are my people, and they have the same kind of ideals that I have.
Yeah.
It's the retreats are not about us. They're about the people that come on the retreat, and we have respect for them and we let them do their thing. That's kind of what we're there to support them, and that gives us so much back. So I would say make sure that you have a great support team, and it happens over time, but that grounds you as a person. And the other thing is, be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But there is purpose to what I'm doing now. Okay, I'm not saving lives, but I am giving back in a way that that makes me happy. And I'm also nurturing myself. And what job, can you wake up in the morning and go, can't wait to do the sound bath tonight, or oh my goodness, we're going to have an amazing cookery class with Sarah, or we're going to do a workshop where we look at the 3 things we want to change. This is what life is about, and I'm very blessed and honored to be at that point in my life where I can embrace that.
That's amazing. I love that. And it's brilliant advice, because the whole thing about intuition, and I was the same for many years. I just locked it down. Well, I was locked down. Just face forward, plow through, and actually, and it was always there. And I think my body particularly was giving me very clear signals that I needed change. It needed to be different. But the minute that you allow yourself to tune in, and I guess sometimes going to retreats like yours and doing that kind of thing is one way of actually tapping into it, and just allowing yourself to listen to what you really want and need can make all the difference. And you can see from your exuberance that, clearly your energy, you're drawing the right people in. And it was great to note that actually the people that you thought were going to be those people weren't. And that's okay. And
Yeah.
I remember when I first started my coaching work, I had a list of people that I thought were going to support me and help me and sort of, spread the word. And it was crickets, right? Like, for want of a better word. And then, but then equally, I had people that, not in a million years did I think would support and help, and who went out of their way, people I didn't even know very well. So you just don't know. But the right things occurred. You're absolutely right. So finally, can I ask you, how this is working? Because I'm sure people would be interested, how this is working financially for you, and how you feel having made this huge transition.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I have to say that I have kind of, I've never been materialistic, but, I've always had kind of big bills because I've had 3 children, I've had sent them to school, and, everyone knows children are expensive. But right now, I'm not making loads of money, but I don't really need that much money either. I'm blessed that I have enough money. I've got 2 houses. My children are all in a good space. I've never wanted a really flashy car. It's not my thing. But I'm comfortable. I have enough money, and I still want to grow my business. That beautiful friend of mine who had the space in Wellington, she has a place in Spain as well. So maybe I'm looking to do that. So I am, and I'd love to branch into Italy. Oh, that would be somewhere near Florence would be I would love that. But look, that's why I've got dreams, okay? I want to carry on. I want to buy another place in 𝗧𝗛𝗓𝗦. I want to buy a house right in the center of the city. 𝗧𝗛𝗧𝗦𝗛𝗟𝗟, by the way, is where in the northern Dordogne, the medieval part of the Dordogne, which is so beautiful, is where my house is, and it's called 𝗧𝗛𝗓𝗏 Retreats. So, yeah, financially, no, not exactly rolling in it, but I'm an entrepreneur, always have been. This is my fourth business, and I will, I've already seen other avenues for me to expand on my business.
Yeah.
I'm working with some influencers at the moment, in France, because I want to grow that to have a more sort of expat community, which would be really nice, and build up that within that region. So, yeah, I am financially doing really well. I'm never going to be Gordon Gekko, but I will be. I will be happy and nourished, and who knows what's around the corner.
Well, that's it. And I think it's an important point about, it's like partly sometimes I think for a lot of my clients are in this space, it's about life stage. Like you kind of get to a point where you recognize what's important. You have done your dues bringing up your kids and they're now fully fledged adults and can take care of themselves for the most part. And that kind of frees you a little to then go, okay, what do I want? What and follow your dream. I have no doubt you're going to build an empire without trying.
Thank you.
Well, listen, it's been fabulous having you on the show. Thanks so much for sharing your journey with us.
My pleasure.
I don't know about anyone else, but I'm excited to look at your retreats and book myself on one. So if anyone is interested in learning more about the retreats you offer, like where can they find more information?
So the website is 𝗧𝗛𝗜𝗦𝗚𝗟𝗟𝗏. Largus as in Largus, and that comes from the Greek for bold abundance, and I think that's quite key. So largusretreats.com, at Largus Retreats for my Instagram, and the same for Facebook. So check us out.
Brilliant. I will include all of it in the show notes.
Brilliant.
Well, thank you, Jo. That's it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us, and I really hope that Jo's story has got you thinking about what your intuition might be telling you about what you want and need. If you know anyone who would benefit from listening to this conversation and Jo's experience, please do share it. And until next time, just know that I believe in you and in your ability to pay attention to your own well-being and take steps to align with it, whatever that means to you. So go do your thing.
Thank you for listening today. I hope our time together has got you thinking about your own adventure in happiness. So please do get in touch. I'd love to hear more about your story. And why not join our Dream Chasers Unite community? There is nothing better than an adventure shared. Until next time, be brave and go create what you crave.